ahead and hop on.
No problem.
All right. Well, joining us now on the Same Old Stripes podcast. Somehow it's the first time I've had him on. I feel like inside my head I've had him on a whole bunch because I'm always on his show. But for the first time ever, we have the host of Sports with Strawberry Ice. He is the Iceman, Jeff Trennepohl. You were so kind to join us tonight, my friend. You've been at training camp a whole bunch. You're obviously a very busy man. You've been hosting your show. You actually just hosted a whole episode and got it all uploaded. But it's great to talk to you, my friend. How are you tonight? How are things? I know you're busy.
Good, man. Good. I'm busy. I'm getting ready for this somewhat football game we got starting here in about an hour of the Hall of Fame game, and then hopefully watch the Reds actually win and not get their ass kicked would be nice. But yeah, that's about it. You know, just another regular night here in Ice Cave.
Yeah, one of our signature things on Same Old Stripes is just to figure out why the Reds are things are happening the way they are. And right now I don't know why they're happening the way they are. Usually you score 9 runs and with this team and you probably think you're going to win, but you give up 20. You don't. Was it 16-6 last night?
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, we scored 9 runs and 6 runs and we still lost. Like, how in the hell did that happen? I don't know. It's I keep telling everybody, it's like, we weren't supposed to win this year anyway, so enjoy it. But damn it, when you freaking have a case like this, you should have freaking won. It's like,
those are the ones that kill you. But I think that before we drive ourselves crazy talking about the Reds, because they're in that part of a Red season right now, we're going to go down the river and talk about the team with some real expectations entering the season. We're going to talk about our Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, baby.
By the way, you have the jackpot. Is that a new jackpot Joey hat? That looks simply fantastic. Tell me about that. Well,
this is the new one that came out this year since, Jackpot Joey is going to Vegas because we're going to win the Super Bowl. So we got the Jackpot Joey Vegas hat. It's like the slots, the nines. This is one of the new shirts too. So yeah, you can get all of it at jackpotjoey9.com. The beer is coming out soon. It's actually on tap at Brick Brewery right now. It's getting canned. So hopefully that'll be out next week, I hope. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah.
I was actually able to find some of that in Columbus last year, so I'm excited for the return of Jackpot Joey up here in the Wylands Market up here in Clintonville and Columbus. Some exciting things coming from the Jackpot Joey line. Those are good-looking hats, good-looking tees, and they got some exciting beers on the way. So make sure you go to Jackpot Joey 9. I'm gonna have to do that after this episode because those hats are way too damn good. Iceman, I reached out to you before this episode because I know you were down at camp today, and I asked you to tell me anything you want to talk about. And I think one thing that I saw a little bit on Twitter, but it sounded like you were excited to talk about it too. Irv Smith seemed to have a really big day for the first time. So tell me about kind of what went into that day and what really stood out to you from him.
What stood out to me was first of all, the size and speed that he has and just the ball skills. And once he makes the catch, he ain't going down easy. I mean, I know they're not really hitting anybody or anything, but I mean, Willie, he's going to be a difference maker for us, I think. And I'm hoping they use him as a difference maker. I'm hoping they don't use him as just a check down guy because I can see them splitting him out wide more, using more as a wide receiver. He's still tight end, but, going out and actually getting passes instead of like Hayden Hurst, which I think it's Hayden Hurst. I love the guy. Did a great job for us last year. He's more a check down guy. Will they change the offense for that? Because honestly, the offense for the tight end is not used a lot. It's a check down point. With Irv Smith, I think they should have at least 2 or 3 plays set out for him this year because he's looking really, really good right now. I mean, hopefully he's healthy. So far he has been. That's been his biggest problem. But honestly, I think this might be the best tight end the Bengals have had in the Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor regime.
It's going to be fascinating to see because I feel like the one thing with Irv Smith is every year it's if he just stays healthy. But we have seen an Irv Smith year where he stayed healthy. He was fantastic. I think it was his rookie year in Minnesota. Absolutely fantastic season. He's with a better quarterback, with an offense that he's going to be even more able to kind of get separation and get single coverage against linebackers. But from your perspective, I know the fan base was very excited about tight end in the draft. I think I was on your show. We definitely talked about some tight ends. I know that towards the end of the process, even some fans kind of soured on Michael Mayer because he wasn't going to be the vertical threat. Do you think there's a real chance Irv Smith could fulfill that Bengals fan desire for that vertical threat tight end? Because it sounds like you're kind of hinting at that in your answer before.
I think he can. I mean, like I said, I just hope they use it though. I mean, he's got the speed, and like I said, he's huge. He's got the hands. I mean, he's got everything you want to do that. So to me, there's no reason why he shouldn't be that vertical threat that we all want. I mean, just think, Willie. if they add that to this offense, dude, the sky's the limit here. You have an actual vertical threat tight end who also can go over the middle because, like I said, he's huge. He's not going to be easy to get down. That is going to take this offense to another level. I mean, let alone with the offensive line we have now. Hopefully the running game is going to be more prevalent than it has been the last couple of years. But again, this offense really isn't a running offense. But with the things we have now, these all could change. And maybe they change them, maybe they don't. I hope they do. So it's a little niche or something that people aren't expecting, you know. We got something extra for you this year.
And it's definitely something I feel like the Bengals fans have desired from that position for a while. And it kind of leads me into my next question. It's going to be around the tight ends. I didn't actually write this, but now I'm thinking tight ends because this is kind of the one group that I consistently – I'm doing a lot of hand motions today. I'm pretty fired up for football. I think that's what it's all about. I'm ready to watch ready to do some of these and some of these. It's about that time of year. Yeah, I feel like it's all – I needed to get it out of my system a little bit or something when I'm talking about football.
Right.
But what I was going to ask is, I mean, this next group of tight ends behind Irv Smith is probably more why Bengals fans would like to see Irv Smith and a little something else. From your point of view, have you really seen any flash from the group of, Devin, Asiasi, Drew Sample, Tanner Hudson, or Mitchell Wilcox? I haven't really seen much of it. So I'm curious.
Not much, but Tanner Hudson, out of all those, I mean, Mitchell Wilcox hasn't been playing. He's still injured. But Tanner Hudson is the one out of those who I've seen make some plays. Drew Sample's, let's be honest, he's Drew Sample. He is what he is.
He's Drew Sample. That is what he is.
Yeah,
he's who he is. He will always be Drew Sample. Sorry, brother.
But Ty Hudson, he's made some plays. I wouldn't say like outstanding plays, but stuff where you notice them. And one thing I'm not going to take credit for this. I heard this on their podcast because he played for the Giants last year, and he was in I want to say 40 or 50 snaps during run plays with the Giants last year. So they had Saquon Barkley, so they were a prolific runners.
Never carrying the ball.
Yeah, so they never carried the ball. So they weren't scared to put him in for that aspect. So you put him in there, and he can actually, jump out, and make some plays. He might surprise some people. I mean, I thought for sure Wilcox was they were going to re-sign him, which I still think. Well, they did resign. I still think he's going to make the team because just last year Wilcox played admirable for us when we knew. He had that great game in Tampa. Yes, would I like us to upgrade? Absolutely. I still think, Willie, maybe the end of the training camp when they cut guys, because you got a couple teams like Buffalo, the Jets, have got more than enough tight ends. They might cut one. We might pick one up there. I'm still kind of waiting to see if that happens. But as far as the guys we got, Hutchinson's the one that's kind of stood out. I mean, other than obviously Irv Smith.
I will say for the Same Old Stripes listeners, if the cut guy for the Jets is CJ Uzomah and the Bengals re-signed him, I'm probably going to have to eat some words. I did not tell the jokes last year. They're still funny. I still stand by all of them. But probably going to have to, I don't know, take a few back because a lot of disloyalty comments from this guy right here.
Yeah, I was kind of with you on that. I'm like, yeah, we're all in. Why not us? It is us. Blah, blah. And all of a sudden, deuces, I'm in the Jets. Like, what the hell happened?
I'm still bitter about the big dog comment when the dogs in the locker room comment or whatever that was.
Well, I was weird. Who's their quarterback? Or not? I know Aaron Rodgers now. The one before
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, he compared Zach Wilson to Jackpot Joey. I said,
yeah.
Are you serious?
I've watched both of them play football, and I don't see it, my man.
Well, I mean, now you got Von Bell out there apparently comparing C.J. Stroud to Jackpot Joey. I'm like, that's just. I'm a Ohio State fan, but let's pump the brakes a little bit here. Joe Burrow is up here. That's a big jump for a rookie. So
one of the two best quarterbacks in the league. I think that we can tap the brakes a little bit. Not everyone can be Joe Burrow. It's like not everyone could be Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or Peyton Manning. It's just you can't be one of those. I mean, I know it's fun to say. It's really fun to hype these guys up, but come on now.
I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah. While we're talking about offense and offensive skill players, I do want to ask you, because we're kind of doing this in anticipation of some preseason action coming up and kind of this early wave of training camp where we're seeing some guys make some plays. So let's throw out the starters for a second. Let's just kind of look at the next group of skill guys, because we kind of looked at that next group of tight ends, but there are some really interesting, skill guys on this team, at the running back position and wide receiver. Is there any guy in particular that you'd really like to see start making some plays in preseason games? Because I know you've seen these guys in training camp now, and I'm sure they've all had flashes of points. But is there anyone that, at this point, you'd be like, man, if this guy can start making some plays in these preseason games, look out.
Well, I like what I see from Chuck Sizzle. Now he got hurt today, so that kind of worries me. I was really looking forward to see what he could do in live action and on actual punt returns. I've seen him, it's practice. Yeah. Because he was actually, I got a video of him on my Twitter feed where he's actually catching the punt one-handed. He's coming in there. People are like, why is he doing that? I said, I don't know, because sometimes you got to catch it one-handed. You got to practice that stuff. I was really looking forward to him. I'm hoping his shoulder isn't that bad. I was really hoping to see some more from Yossi. Well, okay, I'll put you this. When we drafted him, I said I think he could be more of a practice squad guy. And game on 5-3 was like, oh no, he's gonna be awesome. He can do this. I'm like, I understand athletically and everything. It's just he played at Princeton. It's the Ivy League. It's a bit different than the NFL. It's gonna be a big jump. So I would like to see what he could do. The other one is I was really hoping to see Travion. Another good one.
Yeah.
I love Travion. I'm so happy he's finally going to get his shot, and then he sprained his ankle. And he came out today. I said it to Trags, put it on his Twitter that it's not that bad. He should be back. Sometime soon. He didn't put a timetable on it, but those are the guys. And then Chase Brown. I want to see him. I want to see what I want to see what he can do.
I think Chase Brown would be. I mean, how excited would you be to hear Chase Brown gets 15 carries against the Packers? Because to me, that'd be fascinating.
Right. No, I'm down for that. I want to see it. Plus, the stupid thing is, I want to see how he pass blocks. We gotta know. Yeah, we don't know. Travion says he can do it. He told Trags, he goes, "Bruh, go look at my college clip." That's a quote from Trags. What Travion told him. Chase Brown, you got to be willing to do it. That's half the battle. And because we need somebody to pass block back there. I mean, so I'm more, I mean, it sounds so stupid, but I'm more wanting to see that than I have no doubt in my mind Chase Brown is going to be an explosive player. Can he pass block? Because that's what we need is somebody to protect Jackpot.
And this allows Willie to go into Big Ten sicko mode, which is one of his favorite modes to go on the Same Old Stripes podcast. As a person who watched plenty of Illinois football last season, it's going to be – I think you're totally right because Chase Brown was not asked to play in a traditional pass protection role just based on the way Illinois' offense ran. Tommy DeVito is not a big-arm quarterback by any means. He's not – they're not playing an NFL offense. I mean, a lot of that game is – look at his usage last year. Mm-hmm. He had like 220 carries, which was double like his entire college total up to that point. It's like the actual numbers on how much he was used last season.
I honestly think that's why he dropped in the draft to how much he got.
Oh, yeah.
That's totally the reason.
Yep. And I think that it's interesting at this point in the running back conversation, too, because if you're a team like the Bengals and you're not worried about developing a running back, and I have this 4-year rookie contract window where I'm paying him a cheap contract. You're just not worried about it after that.
Right.
And that's why these teams like the Bengals, I think it's such an interesting test case.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be those are. And the funny thing is, Willie, there isn't a whole lot of jobs up for grabs. I mean, they're all competition. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot of guys that they got jobs. So we got to really look and search for. Okay, who's going to be this? Dude, we're literally talking about the backup running back. I'm excited to see if he can pass protect. We're talking about the fourth wide receiver, Chuck Sizzle, our possible punt returner. That's what we're talking about in this team. That's how deep this team is, Willie. I'm fine with trying to find stuff to watch in preseason. This is cool.
It's really funny. And it's the thing that I keep saying to the boys when we're texting the Same Old Stripes threads is there's just not a lot to talk about with this team because that's what being a good team's all about. There's not that much to talk about because
what's there to talk about? Yeah, I mean, you talk about if can Jonah Williams move from left to right. I think Jonah Williams is going to be fine. I've said that from the get-go. I think he's going to be fine. And he was with the ones all day today, and he looked really good. I mean, some people keep throwing us out. Oh, Jackson Carman might get it. I'm like, dude, Jonah Williams is going to be your right tackle.
Jonah Williams would be the right tackle.
Yeah,
and you know what? Regardless, if it doesn't work out, you also have Jackson Carman ready to go after preparing as a starter for a lot of training camp in different, situations. And you're also going to have La'el Collins a couple season or weeks into the season, I have to assume at this point, ready to go. So you're going to have depth. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now I have a question for you. Do you think they will keep La'el all year? I'm hoping they do, just because Willie, the last 2 years, Super Bowl, Reef was out, AFC Championship game, 3 of our offensive linemen are out. If you got a guy like La'el, say they put him on a pup list, and by week on a 5-6, he's ready to go. That's the dude you're bringing in on goal line, your swing tackle, your backup. Sign me up for that. I hope they keep him. Richard Skinner's been on my show a couple of times, and he doesn't see it at all. He's like, I don't think they're going to spend the money. I'm like, but the money's already spent. I mean, I don't. Yeah, they cut them and they'll save it, but it's really not that much. I think they're going to keep him.
Yeah. So pulling up his cap number, just because you're totally right. I mean, if they cut him, they only save $1.6 million or something like that. Like, it's not that much of a savings,
right?
Whatever they do.
I mean, I'll take $1.6 million. I mean, they give it to me. I'll be fine with that.
Let's see. This is pre-June, so yeah. I mean, whatever they want to do. Oh no, they would actually gain $7 million. Oh wow. Well, that's a little bit of a different number.
Never mind.
Yeah. Whatever they got to do. In my opinion, whatever you're going to get for that dollar value, you're probably not going to get the level of tackle that you're going to get with La'el Collins. Like, for me, whatever they're going to be upgrading with is not someone that can be a replacement level starter. At least you can't bet on that. With La'el Collins, you're at least going to have a guy that knows your system, has been in your locker room, has played in a division winning level at a very minimum caliber for this team. To me, that's not nothing. And to have that guy as your backup at a very minimum, even if he's your third string, he's your swing tackle. I don't know if he's ahead of Carman, behind Carman, where he ranks on the left side.
He's probably behind Carman because he's not even playing.
But with that said, that's a good problem to have, man. I think you got to keep him. I think that's if you're asking me to pick between, Deontay Smith, someone like that, or La'el Collins, and I hate to do that because I know Deontay Smith has been very good to a lot of people in Cincinnati. But I don't know. I think that's a pretty easy decision to make.
So you said they would save $7 million though?
They would.
Ooh. See, that's where I could see that's I didn't think it was that high. That's where I could like, all right, well, $7 million could help go toward Jackpot's contract or tees or So
yeah,
that if it was 1.5, I'm why would they cut it? But 7,
yeah. I'm looking at over the cap right now. They have it as the Bengals would have to eat 1.6 in dead money this year, and they would have 7.7 in savings. So that that would definitely be a pretty penny.
Yeah. That'll be interesting because then maybe Skinny's right. Maybe they will cut him. I don't know. I didn't think it was that big. I didn't know it was that big.
Yeah, I do wonder what happens if they carry him on the pup. I don't know if that affects how the contract works. I know there's a lot of different prorations, but the guaranteed number is still significant. I mean, he's got a cap number at 9.4 right now, so that's not nothing.
That's not nothing. That's for sure. But it just scares me, Willie, because the last 2 years our offensive line has not been healthy going into the most important games of the season, the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game. It's just, it would be nice to have a guy like La'el there, and I mean, nothing against Jonah, but Jonah's been injured. He's been getting, I won't say injury prone, but he's got nicked up the last couple of years. So
I mean, to me, for this team, it's really hard to sell me on, losing offensive line depth at this point for all the reasons you just mentioned.
Right. No, I'm with you on that. That's where I'm like, I hope they keep them, but that big of a number, I can see them part ways. But like I said, I have no idea how it works whether you're on the pup or any of that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of cap math that goes into this. So I'm sure whatever decision they make, there's going to be opinions one way or another. That's a lot of money to save. So I think that they're going to have to take a long, hard look at that. So interesting to track. I do want to flip to the other side of the ball because, hey, we're talking a lot of offense right now. I do want to talk about Lou Anarumo's guys a little bit. I don't think you and I have actually talked since the Bengals drafted Myles Murphy, but a guy that I'm really interested in, hearing about from your perspective, obviously seeing him, we all got all hyped, but also you've seen him in training camp. I know he's playing a lot with the 2s and the 3s right now, but
Dude, he has like zero body fat. I'm like, dude, his waist is like this. But I mean, it's still huge, but he's still like an hourglass body. I mean, he's just solid as a rock. I mean, I am so excited to see him. The thing I'm excited to see is the quote unquote NASCAR package. You got him on the inside, Sam on the inside, Joseph Osai, Trey Harris out on the outside, getting those 4 guys on there. And this is where everybody's like, dude, I'm passing downs and yada, yada, which you're right. You can. But I'm kind of curious. Lou dials something up. Maybe he does it more than just passing downs. Does it like almost every down or close to it? I mean, I'm not saying he's going to. It's just something I got cooked up on my head. If you got 4 guys and you can get pressure with your front 4 with DJ in the middle, that's pretty cool. I mean,
it's a good time.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to get pressure on the quarterback. I can't wait to see Joseph Osai because he looks like he's finally, knock on wood, he's healthy. He hurt himself the first year as a rookie after he sacked Tom Brady. Then he had a labrum issue. Then he hurt himself the end of last year. If he can stay healthy, he's going to be a beast. Just the 4 guys we got. And you asked about Myles Murphy. I think Myles Murphy is not going to be good on pass or rushing the passer, but also on run defense.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough credit for what he did in college on his run defense. So that's where, like, I know if I can talk here, if you have 4 of them there, you probably take BJ Hill out, but that's not a bad idea because BJ, I don't think plays as good when he gets so many snaps. Because last year, I think he got tired because he didn't have
for sure.
Larry with him.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw it from BJ Hill last year. For me, I think you're totally right as well. I mean, they have to find ways to get him more. And Zach Carter is going to be a big part of that equation as well.
Absolutely.
Have you seen much from him, by the way? Because that's a guy I'm really targeting for a big breakout this year.
I have. I mean, he hasn't like stood out. I mean, I know he's made some good plays and stuff, and I think he's on the right trajectory. I haven't personally.
Yeah.
Where I stand, sometimes it's kind of hard to see.
Oh, I know. It's. I've been down to those.
Yeah, I'm in my little corner. I call it the ice corner. I told Paul Danner Jr. out there, this is the ice corner. He goes, I like that. So I kind of stand there the whole time. But Zach, I mean, he's a huge guy. And he was starting to make some plays at the end of last year. He was coming along. And they need him to, because he is the guy to replace Larry O. We didn't really have that last year, and we sorely missed it. So that's where Zach really needs to step up. And I like to say he's going to replace Larry O, but at least come close to it to take some snaps. Well, BJ Hill has got to get less snaps this year. He's got to. He's got to get less snaps. Sam Hubbard and Lights Out Trey have got to get less snaps because I remember DJ Reader said on somebody's article that he literally yelled at Henderson and Sam to sit their asses on the bench because they want to go the whole time. It's like, we need you for the end of the season. We need you for the end of the game. You got to take less snaps. At least, I don't know, 5 less snaps a game would be huge for these guys.
So speaking of these bunch of freaks and these crazy pass rushers, I do want to talk to you about one of the phenomenons of training camp, which I've loved to hear about, which are these battles between not only Trey Hendrickson and Orlando Brown Jr., but Joseph Osai and Orlando Brown Jr. I mean, 1, how much fun is it for you to watch that? And 2, I mean, just from getting excited for the season, does it just get you jacked up to know that level of competition is getting set up for this season? Because I think that's huge, an underrated factor in the Orlando Brown Jr. signing.
Dude, they've been going at it since the get-go. I mean, Trey Henderson or Orlando Brown got in a fight in the first freaking day of camp. But, I mean, I've seen Orlando win. I've seen him lose. I've seen Joseph Osai make a nice up and under move around it and go around him, which, I mean, he's going to get beat. They're going to get beat. I mean, they're paid to beat.
A lot of reps, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of reps. There's a lot of going against the same guys. It is awesome watching Orlando, how big he is and how quickly he can move from side to side and get his hips turned and all. Their offensive linemen don't get enough credit for. They're ballet dancers. I mean, I'm not trying to doll it up or anything, but they are. Yeah. To have the feet that those guys had to be able to move inside, outside, back and forth. And they're always moving backwards unless you're obviously run blocking, you're moving forward there, but pass blocking, you're moving backwards. It's just because your first step, it's always the jump step or whatever. Then you're back in your stance, and they're trying not to do the whole punch thing, which is what Brian Jordan, I think his name was Johnson. What was his name? The Ohio State kid that was our offensive lineman. That anyway.
Oh, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Michael
How did I forget that name?
Yeah.
The greatest basketball player ever.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. But yeah, he'd always do that punch. I think they're trying to get away from that. And just to watch these guys be able to move and get in front of each other or get around each other, because it happens so damn fast, Willie, in a phone booth. I mean, literally, they're in a phone booth. I mean, for all you older kids, you don't know what a phone booth is. It used to be a thing they had on the street corners. We'd go inside. We had to actually pay for the phone or pay to make phone calls. But yeah, it's fun to watch these things. I honestly wish I could watch that a little bit more. Like I said, it's hard for the level I'm at, but the little bit I've gotten to see of it, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and to me, I mean, that's part of the whole thing, man. Competition breeds excellence in a lot of ways. So that gets me fired up to hear it. And you're totally, I mean, watching offensive linemen, that's why it's my favorite position, because so much has to happen. It's like the little mini orchestra happen all. I think like a ballet is almost perfect because it does have to happen in this really artistic and syncopated way between all of them. It can break down really easily.
Right.
Yeah. So with that said, I do want to ask you two more questions. I got two left.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Drum roll. 2.
One. No, they're not like that. Just to kind of wrap up our conversation on the defense, we've kind of thrown some names around. We talked mainly about defensive line, but we talked about an offensive player that you might be looking forward to watching in some of these preseason games and maybe having their moment. Are there any defensive players that have, maybe flashed in camp or not flashed in camp that you are kind of looking forward to see potentially have some moments in the preseason?
A lot of the DBs, Cam Taylor-Britt, watch him and Jamar go back and forth. I know a lot of the Twitter stuff is looks like Jamar smoking him. Cam's been getting his own too. He's right there, and Juan Drago, DJ Turner.
Yeah, baby.
That dude is fast. He's a ball hawk. He can track the ball. I love watching him and DJ Ivy. He's actually played. It's mostly. Almost all the cornerbacks, the DBs, I want to watch them because they've played really, really well. And just the depth of the cornerbacks we have. Who's going to make it? Who's not? Is Dax, is he just going to be a safety this year? Are they going to try to put him as, which I've suggested, put him as the backup nickel? And everybody's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, but if he can do it, I don't know. That's just, those are the things that a lot of stuff will play if he's going to be the slot or the safety, play out more towards the season. But those are things that's really it's the cornerbacks and how good these guys are. Because that's, again, we keep talking about the depth of this team. Just look at the DB room. It's ridiculous.
And that's one of the really enjoyable parts of what the Bengals have done is they've given us a really fun, athletic, playmaking group of defensive backs to watch come up through the system. And we're kind of just now starting to see this transition because, Jesse Bates and Von Bell are gone, folks. It's transition. There's no Eli Apple here. There's still be Chidobe Awuzie. Don't.
I was gonna say, and I haven't even mentioned Cheeto. Cheeto looks like he doesn't even have a knee problem.
Of course, Cheeto's a freak, man.
Dude, he is running up and down. He's not playing and participating in any of the drills, but he's running the length of the field back and forth. I'm like, he looks fine. You wouldn't know he had a knee injury last year.
That gets me so excited, man. Cheetos, they missed him.
Oh yeah,
who knows? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they missed him for sure. And hopefully he's healthy this year.
Well, my last question it revolves around a man who we have not talked about, but weighs heavy over all things Bengals. Here's what we've got. If you had to, for $1 million, predict a calendar date when Joe Burrow signs his record-setting extension, when will that calendar date be? And that's a tough question because we all want to say, it's going to happen tomorrow because that's what we want to tell ourselves. But at this point, it seems like they're really trying to hammer it out and make sure this deal gets everything everyone wants.
Honestly, Willie, I thought they were going to announce it Saturday.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, because he was due a roster bonus, and I thought they could roll that into his contract. I don't know. But I don't know a date, but I'm hoping it's at least before. At this point, I'm hoping it's before the season starts because if I still think it's going to happen, because the thing is that one's got to happen, and then I think the other chips will fall. Then T will get his, then maybe
Logan
wants to get his,
Yeah.
but Joe's got to happen first.
Yep.
And I'm really, I wish. I mean, I've said this on my show. I don't care about the details, but now it's getting to the point. It's like, what the hell's taking so long? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I thought they were waiting for Herbert. You know, Sherbert got his money. I'm like, all right, so I got to beat that guy. You know, all right, well, go beat him. You know, let's get this done. So I'm hoping before the first preseason game. Would that be next Friday?
Yeah, I think that's a fair timeline. I think that by then things should be done. Because why wouldn't they?
Think
You got to get it done. Well, I think we can leave it there for now. I think that was a fun conversation.
It really wasn't a date. I don't know.
I think that's a vibe, though. That is the vibe. It's like, I don't know, like the next week. Like,
yeah, like
it
should have been done already. I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the answer. It should have been done already. That's
right.
Yeah. Well, my friend, it's been a delight having you on today. We'll have to have you back on. If you guys haven't already, make sure that you check out Sports with Strawberry Ice. Go subscribe on YouTube or wherever you like to listen to your sports podcasts. Iceman, anything else you want to promote before you go?
Just make sure you guys keep tuned to Sandwich Straight because Willie does an awesome job. Make sure you follow him on Twitter because he's an awesome follow. I get a lot of details stuff from him because he's more detailed into the offensive line and stuff than I am. I'll put it that way. So I enjoy your tweets and I enjoy your guys' podcast, man.
Right on, brother. And I almost forgot jackpotjoey9.com. Get your Jackpot Joey merch, people.
Yep.
It's almost in your Jackpot Joey beer.
Yep.
It's that time of year. It's almost football season. There's football on tonight. By the time this podcast comes out, there's going to be a football game that's already been played, folks.
You smell that, Willie? You smell that? It smells like football, baby.
It does smell like football. Iceman, have a great night. Thanks so much, man. And hoo-day.
Hoo-day, brother.